For close to 100 years there's been a brass band in the West Yorkshire village of Hade Edge. It's a tradition handed down by one generation to the next. And today, after years of sweat and slog, the band have finally made it all the way up. Now they're competing against the big boys of the championship section, the best bands in Britain, hoping for glory and playing for the love of it. Midsummer, and in Hade Edge, just up the hill from Holmfirth, the air's filled with another tradition, the Hade Edge Gala. As well as the senior band, Hade Edge is the proud home of a junior band and a training band too. Today it'll be the kids' chance to perform. Heather Wood plays flugelhorn with the seniors, and as well as being married to Simon, Hade Edge's musical director, she runs the junior band.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a bouncy castle, plant stalls, there's a beer tent with various stalls in there, the tombola, bric-a-brac, there's a cake stall.
This is Hade Edge Gala, so it's our local village annual summer fair.
Right then, are we ready?
When we started the junior band, they asked us if we'd play.
Are you ready?
So this is our third year. It's our first year that we've been able to bring the training band.
No, William's not ready.
So it's great, much better than last year because we were rained off. We only played 2 pieces last year, had to disappear, so it's lovely to have the sunshine this year.
The junior band's nicknamed the Honking Hedges, and all the kids were complete beginners when they started just 4 years ago.
They just make it. I mean, everybody said when they were playing, it just sounds like a proper village fete, which, you know, nice.
Reverend Don Hicks will perform the crowning of the Queen. Thank you.
But it gives me a great pleasure to crown Bethany as the Queen for Hade Edge Gala today, and long may she be Queen of Hade Edge.
The training band have been going just about 18 months now, and they've just made that leap so that, you know, they can play things that people can recognise and they can manage to do a concert on their own. And the junior band are just, they're just doing really well. You know, they enter competitions, and previously they've entered competitions and not really won anything. I think now they're getting to the stage now that they're going to be, giving a bit of competition to other bands in the area as well.
The Honking Hedges are as young as 7, but already they're mad on banding.
If they didn't enjoy it, they wouldn't turn up, would they? They wouldn't turn up every Friday. I mean, our registers, we keep a register every week who attends, and it's very rare that they miss. They only miss if they've got something else on. I mean, children are busy as adults these days, aren't they? They're involved in lots of different things. Our attendance and the fact that we've kept 30 children in the junior band for the last 2.5 years with very little change, hardly anybody leaving, just new ones joining. I think it's great.
Unlike the big boys, Hade Edge will never be able to entice top players to join them. They haven't the money or the name. For Hade Edge, the youngsters are their future, the next generation of players. And for the children of the training band, the Friday evening rehearsals are pure magic.
They've been going for a year now, just over a year, and they're just beginning to, make some progress, and it's recognisable. It's not noise anymore. You know, for about 8 to 9 months it was just noise. because they all started at once. But it's really coming on now. You could, I guess you could tell what they were playing.
The next hour is going to be controlled chaos.
Here we go! Happy birthday! Ah, don't forget, drums! Oi, shh! Where's your music? Where's your music? You're right pair of tea cakes, you two. OK, here we go then. Finally. And 1, 2.
For kids of this age, the benefits of picking up a musical instrument are almost priceless.
They're learning how to play an instrument and read music.
Off. Wait.
They're involved in something that's very much a team effort, and they've got to work very much as a team, not to work with other people.
OK, well done, guys. Let's turn that over. That's too easy now.
And I think, the parents, I think for the first few months it was quite hard, and the training band have just got over that hurdle. The parents used to come along and, it didn't sound very nice and the children weren't making nice noises. But all of a sudden, they've got over that hurdle and they're making nice sounds now. And the parents really appreciate, what the children are doing. Something about music. I mean, children play sport and that, and they get enjoyment through winning a game. But I think through music, you get a lot of enjoyment from pleasing other people, because you're giving something to other people. That they're coming along to concerts and they're listening and they're enjoying it, so you're giving something to them as well.
Next up, the junior band rehearsal.
Kids love being together in teams. They all love playing football on a Saturday morning, don't they? I think it's just they like being in the team. They come for the sweets at 6 o'clock. So they come for the sweets, but I think they just enjoy making a bit of music, and I think they enjoy improving. I think they all get a sense of learning, and I think they do like that. It can be hard work. It can be just a bit wild and have to do a lot of shouting. But they get used to it, and, when I do shout, they stop, usually. All the cornets at G. What are you? You're a cornet, you Zimoid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. Again, 2, 3, and 4. And 1. Right, not bad. Again, just watch your left ear, Caleb. You might get a cornet in a minute. Again, 1, 2, 3. You! Come on! Bam, bam, bam. Oh, who's that? Bam, bam,
Simon tries to make every band rehearsal hard work, but fun.
bam, bam, bam. F sharp, Tom. I think if you're going to be a conductor, you can either do it or you can't. You can either... There are conductors that don't get on with people, and I don't know how they get on. I don't know how they manage it, because it's really difficult. It's not just the different bands. You talk to every child in a slightly different way in every different band, really. There are some children that I can't shout at, otherwise they'll cry, and some that, unless I really shout at them, they'll just sit and do nothing. Don't worry about the camera, Jack. Your girlfriend knows you're going to be on.
I don't have one, thank you.
Oh, you will have once this goes out.
There's no doubt this is going to be the biggest year in the history of Hade Edge Band. They've had success in previous years, of course, but nothing like this. 3 bands, over 100 musicians, and a place in the championship section. There's everything to play for. It's all down to hard work and sheer dedication. It's been like that for generations.
The day you stop wanting to improve, then you're going backwards. I think you need to strive to improve just to keep going, because the standard in brass bands is so dramatically different now to what it was 25 years ago even. It's unbelievable. And you've got to keep getting better. And that's what's kept people going at Hade Edge a lot, I think. That they can tell now that it's a lot better than it used to be.
Oxon Hope Station on the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway, and a rather unusual Sunday morning concert.
We're playing for the steam trains coming in and out.
Just cheesy things.
633 Squadron.
Floral dance, that kind of thing, tunes that are popular.
Figuratively.
You need to play what people want to listen to.
I think that's about all I remember.
Music that people like to listen to. I think this is what brass banding is all about to me. This is what your grassroots about brass banding is. I don't mind contest work, but I much prefer to do jobs like this.
Are you going to watch me cover it in pig fat?
Hade Edge Band is just like my family, really. Yeah, there's something special about Hade Edge. And especially when we put this red jacket on, we think we're Black Dyke.
Got a kind of family buzz about it. It's the kind of band where people remember each other's birthdays, and I know that sounds like a silly thing, but in a lot of bands that doesn't happen. People just turn up, play, go home again. Whereas at Hade Edge that doesn't happen. It's like people care about each other, people care about the music they're making. It's a nice thing.
Matt is a reservoir keeper, and he can hear the sound of brass practically anywhere.
Maybe it's something to do with coming from this part of the world. It's kind of, you hear it just everywhere you go. If you go out for a drink with friends and you go in the pub, you think there's nearly always a brass band tape playing somewhere, or this is just a nice sound. And in a place like this, I think the two kind of go together. It's like a soundtrack on your life, isn't it?
For Matt, this love of the music has always been there.
I was actually born on Whit Friday in 1976. 12 minutes to 6, and my mum always tells the tale that I was sat there listening to Brighouse and Rastrick come down Delphi Street at around about that time, playing Ravenswood, so yeah, it did start pretty early for me.
Sue Colvin is a family law solicitor in Sheffield. Sometimes she wonders how she manages to follow a demanding day with endless band rehearsals.
Often. Yes. Especially, I mean, sometimes when you've got a rehearsal every night of the week for 2 weeks, like before the area contest, and you know it's relentless. You're out every night, and you haven't got any time off, and sometimes you think, why am I doing this? Mrs. Smith, can you ask for a cheque for the court issue fee? I'm in a very responsible job. It's very stressful, and band is you can switch off. It's concentrating on something else, which isn't work, which gives you the enjoyment and takes your mind off other things, really. And I find that very enjoyable.
Peter Hoyle loves playing for Hade Edge Band, and so do his 2 kids. Peter's an electrician for Kirklees Council, but he'll grab any opportunity to rehearse.
I was the first person in our family ever to play, and it's gone on to the 2nd generation now with my 2 boys. If I can play there for years and years to come, then I will. I actually, for the first time, this is probably a dreadful thing to say, but for the actual first time in all the years I've played, I actually look forward and get quite excited about going to band practices. In the other bands, it's just been a case of you turn up, you do your thing, and you go away. But this is the first time I've really been excited about going to band practices. And before, you might have looked for an excuse to miss a band practice. Now you're looking for excuses to go to band practices, and other things you push to one side in favour of going to band. And it's never nice to miss a band practice.
Longley Farm Dairy, just down the hill from Hade Edge. The Dickinson brothers made their fortune here, and Edgar's the band's president. Edgar saved the band with his financial support because he loves the music and the community.
When you've made your living out of people who supported you and bought your products, you've got to give something back. I was the president of the band for several years, but they were all aging people. They were all getting older, and as they gave up, they weren't replaced. So I was president, and I thought, well, we're going to have to do something about this. So I started to, not particularly sponsor it, but to finance them a bit and give them moral support. And the band started to gain momentum again, and then Simon came along, you see. And I thought, well, this has given us something a bit more now. We've got something now. Simon's he's a goer. And I thought, right, this is it now. We can go places now. We were a 3rd division band, then we moved into 2nd division, then of course we were national champions, and then we moved into 1st division, now we moved up into the championship class, and so that's really brilliant, and it makes me really happy, and so long as I'm around, I'll see it carries on, and in fact it'll carry on when I've gone. I've made arrangements for that even, so... It's got to be there, it's got to live, it's got to keep going, it's part of the village, and all those new houses around Hade Edge now. And with the dairy we put Longley and Longley Farm on the map, and now I don't see any reason why we can't put Hade Edge Band and Hade Edge Village on the map now.
Peter Badham's chairman of the band, and he's played with Hade Edge longer than anyone.
Oh, well, I actually joined in '74. I came up from Cardiff just after we got married, me and Heather. And her dad was a conductor in the band then. So it was the only place really to go from the other band. I played in a band called Melanie Griffith down in Cardiff. They're sadly no longer with us, as seems to be the case with quite a few brass bands these days, but fortunately for us, we seem to be going the other way. Just getting bigger and bigger. When I do give up, as obviously I'm going to have to do sometime, I shan't know what to do with myself. It's in the blood. I don't know why we do it. Sometimes I despair of myself as to why I do it. But I do it because, well, when it comes to down to the bottom line, it's because I love it.
Soon they'll be pulling down the old band room and putting up a spanking new one with all mod cons. It may be a scruffy old hut, but it's been a cosy home since the 20s.
A lot of bands give the right arms to own that. It is just a shed, but it's been good to us, I suppose. Yeah, it's lovely to have your own place. I guess it'll be sad to see it go, but it'll be fantastic to see the new one.
A lot of people might think it's sentimental and it's soppy, but I think tradition. I think it's very, very important. At one time, every village had a band, and I think it's just tradition that's kept it going. You see the photographs on the wall, and you can look at players that have been there, and there's photographs there 100 years old, and you feel as though they started it and you've continued it, and eventually you're going to hand it on to the young ones, and they can carry it on, hopefully, for another 100 years.
I'd like to think that in 100 years' time this band's still here and there's a picture of me on the wall. And it's, when I remember the first time I walked in this band room, and that kind of sense of history suddenly gets to you, what you're walking into and what you're about to become a part of. And I hope I'm part of that in future brass banders' eyes.